Hello again, friends. It's time for another baking episode. Today we're going to be caking some lemon raspberry surprise. So as per usual, I'm going to show you all the tools that you'll need for the job. A tablespoon, a sharp knife, and a spatula. An electric whisk, a mixing bowl, a grater, one of these, scales, and some baking parchment. And now for the magic ingredients list coming up. You will need 200 grams of plain flour. You'll need 100 grams of ground almonds, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 250 grams of coconut sugar, three eggs, three lemons, 3 tablespoons of almond milk, and 200 grams of butter. Oh, butter! I left the butter outside softening in the sun. I'll just go and get it. In place of butter, we use vegan block. Works wonders. Because I left it out in the sun, it's nice and soft. Okay, first we need to squeeze and zest those lemons. I use a grater to zest the lemons. This is another one of those very dangerous activities. You might grate off your fingers if you're not careful. So be careful. 2 down, 1 to go. You've got to be careful to get unwaxed lemons, otherwise you might be grating wax into your cake. And that would be a mistake to make in your cake, for goodness sake. That's the zesting, now for the squeezing. This is another highly dangerous activity. Be careful with sharp knives. Oh no, we need to save this one for the top of the cake. I'm going to put that over there. And I think I'm going to need another bowl. Okay, I've got one just over there. Now I'm going to wash my hands. Again. Butter. And because butter usually comes in 200 gram blocks, we don't need to weigh this one. To make it easier to whisk, I'm going to cut it into chunks and put it in my mixing bowl. Time for the sharp knife again. Now we need to keep this butter wrapper later for greasing the tin. Pour in the sugar. Let's get whisking. Preheat the oven to 180 or gas mark 4, and then line our tin with baking parchment and the butter wrapper. Make sure you get the edges too. I've got a bit of a trick for cutting baking parchment. Pardon? Sit the cake tin on a sheet of baking parchment. Then you need to get the pen or a pencil and draw around the shape of the baking tin. Oh yeah. Get a pair of scissors. And next you want to cut one long strip of baking parchment that's going to go around the edge of the tin. Great, let's put that to the side. Back to our mixing bowl. Now we need to add the eggs and the lemon to our buttery sugary mixture. And the milk. Let's get whizzing. Now we need to sprinkle the flour and the almond and mix that all in. And the baking powder and the salt. It's time to pour the mixture into the baking tin. Now this is where your spoon comes in handy. Between the spoon and the spatula, we're going to get it into the bowl. Great, let's get it in the oven. Remember the oven's hot now, so be careful. Now I've got 45 minutes to wait until that lemon juice. Big and tasty and ready. In the meantime, let's juice another lemon for the topping. Okay, so this last bit of lemon juice is to sprinkle over the top when it comes out the oven. So get your thumbs in again and squeeze. Now to wash my hands. Oh, and take out my dirty things for the washing up area. It's been 45 minutes, time to check the cake. Now the way we check the cake is, carefully stick a knife into it. If it comes out clean, you know it's done. Oh, this looks like a good one. So we're going to take the cake tin off. This is a clever cake tin because it just pings off. Remove the baking parchment from the edges. Now I'm going to get a skewer and skew it. I'm just going to gently make a few holes. And I'm going to pour the lemon juice over it. And I'm going to drizzle a bit of golden syrup over it. Now I'm going to sprinkle bits of dried raspberry all over that. All over the table.
Yes.
Now I'm going to put this onto a plate. Then for the final decoration, I'm going to put some fresh raspberries on there and a tiny sprinkle of icing sugar through a sieve.